Welcome here to In Touch Fly Fishing. Here we are in the backcountry of New Zealand, and today we're here testing the new Fasna 421 Jig Hook and also a newer model of the 444 with the new steel, and we're excited to see what it can deliver. So let's get into it, get busy. Well, seems to be lots of littler ones around at the moment, which is good. Good for the health of the fishery. Excellent. So he took the Fasna 421, size 14. Put a lot of heat on that fish and no problem there, but see how that rolls with the bigger models. Oh, that's a better one. Heading deep. So that was a bit of a funky. I think the line's gone under a rock. He's jumped under there, and I felt this whole slack come into the system. Yes! Beautiful fish. Look at this big eel. little further out. He's got me around the ledge. There we go, we're free. So there's a prime example of why I stood up on there, because I knew he was gonna go around the ledge. And by standing up there, it enabled me to free the line off the little nick that he was in, a little knob. Sometimes those are sharp and they'll just ping you straight away. So make your move, anticipate it, make it, don't wait for it to happen. Well, I've been out testing a couple of new Fasna hook models recently, and I was in the back country and I was running the 12 and 14s. So I hit the bench this morning, tied up a bunch of 16 and 18s, and the plan was to head to the river and give them a thorough testing and really put the heat on the fish, just testing the strength more so than anything. But run into a river full of small dinkers, which are smaller fish, and I mean, not all of them are small, but what that enables me to do is it's giving me more data. So I'm catching a ton of fish, and instead of testing the hook strength today, more so I'm testing the holding ability and the hook to land ratio of each hook. And yeah, thoroughly impressed. And of the fish that I have dropped on these new hooks, more so my fault than the hook's fault. So yeah, it's all good things happening. So stay tuned to In Touch Fly Fishing, and we're bringing you the data on the new Fasna hooks. We'll bring you more. So I made a crucial mistake then. As I was casting, I was actually stepping. So always plant our base, like any sport. Good performance comes from a good base. Golf, rugby, you're not going to do a good tackle when you haven't got a good base to power off. Boxing, a lot of work done on those sports on your base and your structure. Just really systemize it. Don't go casting all the way to the far side. Work our way across, up, across, up, across. How's the fish? There we go. So I missed the first take. There was a puff of wind and it just puffed my line and my indicator upwards, and it was an instant take as soon as it hit the water, so I had no take detection and he'd already let it go. So sometimes this technique you're nymphing is a little tricky when it's windy. It's not windy now, but it's that particular drift. As I set my drift, it just puffed up, and lucky to pick that fish up. Second time around, it'll be about a 26. Another puff just then. It's an upstream breeze. In this scenario, if it got stronger, I'm not worried about it right now, but if it got stronger, I could probably anchor it with a dry fly. A good base, cast, contact. That's terrible contact. That wind's really gusting up now. If that's the case and it's gusting more consistently, step out the side and I'll probably fish straight across from myself and just let it swing. Just this last little piece rather than upstream of myself. And that there in the competition world would just be legal, probably 21, 20 and a half. I'm talking centimeters here because I'm trying to get some data on how these hooks hold it with the smaller fish. I know what my favorite hook is, but this newer hook is amazing on the bigger fish. And that's another fish that's around 20. So in this little pocket so far, we've had 100% hookup ratio, hook to land on the 421, and none of those fish are over 23. And it's a bit windier than I would like. So I've got no problems really with that hook. Geez, these little bows have got some way to go. Little footballs. These fish are like 6, 7 months old. It's great fun. Running the 3-weight Guideline LPX today. 5X tippet. I could be running 6 quite easily, but I wanted to actually test these hooks for what they can give, what they can do. I want to put the heat on them. So if I can get some bigger fish, and that's not a bad size fish, nothing to be scoffed at. And that's the 16 Fasna 421. I've been running the 444 and I'm very impressed with the hookup ratio. and I've just switched to the 421. Seems to be a stronger hook, and I have hooked 6, and in the last 6 that I've hooked, I've dropped 1, and that was more than likely I kind of felt I didn't have great contact. So, and there's another one, and I was about to lift out when that fish took. So I'm not going to blame the hook, I'm going to blame myself. Just systematically working this water, really gritting it out. Be back and forth. You'll never cover the water effectively. So starting in close, working across. I might do the odd cast up a little further. And I'm also covering it with multiple styles of drifts here. So I'm doing a long dead drift up ahead of me, quite a low rod angle, cover any really active fish, and then fishing directly with my rod tip basically over top of my nymphs, and that's the least amount of drag. Just on the swing there. So stopping the rod tip, just allowing it to swing up like it's a emerging invertebrate. So we've got fish just over there. It's about a 26, 27. Good solid take. Hold on really easily when sort of that size. It's the smaller ones that just bounce all over the show. Small mouths obviously don't have the weight to hold the hook. Well, don't really have the weight to support their body mass, really load the rod, and that's why more often than not, targeting small fish, we go to lighter rods. 2 weights, 1 weights. There's a few theories around at the moment. A few crew are running solid tip rods, and they're saying that those smaller fish don't pop off on the solid tips. Jury's out on that one. Never used one myself. So moving up a rod length. Fish this closest piece of water and we just work our way out. I'm throwing in some dead drifts, and as I drift multiple times, I might stop the rod, let it swing up, feed it down the current, animate it, and that replicates an emerger, an invertebrate trying to break through to the surface. Step up a rod length again and repeat. You'll usually find that you will hit a little hot spot where the fish will pot up, because that's the holding water. good food, and easy current that's bringing food to them like a food elevator or travelator. Just on the swing. What I find, if I'm dead drifting a lot, not getting a lot of takes, getting the odd hit here and there, but I'm getting most of those fish on the swing. Kind of tells me there's a lot of emerger stage of the invertebrate life cycle happening, where nymphs are trying to get to the surface, they're emerging, it's got this action, and when it's like that, wet lining wee wets can be really effective. So if I was really looking to maximize my catch rate here, I probably would switch to wet lining wee wets. Can also Euro nymph with a little soft tackle. Fish here. Coming over. Taking the 42116, actually sorry, it's taking the 44412. Beauty. Oh, what a fucking fish. So a little summary of the two hooks that we've been testing here in this video, the Fasna 421 and 444 jig hooks. It's very important here in New Zealand. The first thing that we're looking for is a hook that doesn't bend, straighten or deforms in any way. We've had a lot of problems in in years gone by with barbless hooks coming into New Zealand that aren't really fit for our fishery. And when I say that, the majority of the fisheries are fine, but you get those big hard fighting fish in the heavier rivers and we run into problems. So the first test we did was on a river like that, very hard fighting big fish and not a problem whatsoever. Very good hook to land ratio. Then we headed to a lowland river full of smaller fish, small medium fish, and what that enabled us to do is get more data. So we were catching a couple of hundred fish per day, and then we get to see the hook to land ratio of each hook, the holdability of each hook, and I'm very impressed. Tested the range from 12 right through to 18. 12 and 14 is kind of fairly common New Zealand hook size for nymphs. Right there, and then when we went to the river full of smaller fish, tied up a number of 16s and 18s just to, one, test the strength of those as well, and the hook to land ratio that they provide. So very impressed. Third scenario was on a sight fishing backcountry river with browns and rainbows, and once again the hooks performed flawlessly. So these two hook models will be part of my arsenal. If anything, I would suggest that the 421 is slightly stronger hook. It's a narrower gape. The 444 would be more suited to patterns that require a slightly bigger gape, plus in the smaller sizes on smaller fish, that seems to be your best hook to land ratio on the slightly wider gape hooks. But if we're tying eggs, worms as such, anything that would need a little bit wider gape, I would recommend the 444 and the 421 other than that. So very impressed, and I'll be filling my box with them pretty soon.